What's up, guys? All right, I know. Where have I been at? Where's the YouTube videos? Listen, me and my boy James have been working behind the scenes right now on a podcast that's going to be created completely in a digital space, kind of like this one right now. As you can see, I moved out of my place. I'm in a new place. This is my apartment. It's a little messy right now, but we're still moving some things around. And I guess I could just kind of show you how I'm doing all this right now, because you're probably like, what's going on here? Let me just show you. Okay, all right, here we are. This is me inside of a 16 camera motion capture stage. If you've been watching my vlogs from the beginning, you'll know this person that just showed up. I don't feel like we've seen each other in years, and definitely you guys haven't seen him in the vlog. So, you ready? Yeah. Oh,
what's up?
Ryan, skits and giggles.
What's good, Carlos?
When's the last time you said skits and giggles?
About 10 years.
Damn. Yo, Ryan Abe up in the house. Hey, get in here, Carlos. Carlos, get the hell in here. Go here.
This is nice, dude.
Yeah, welcome to the portal.
I haven't seen you in 2 years, bro.
Has it been 2 years?
It's been about 2 years.
Ryan is here right now as we're going to do a little test, because I was telling you guys about me and James were building a podcast, and I think a good test guest would be my boy Ryan, and we're going to show you how we're doing it, because we're actually going to do it in a digital space. Scan you into the astroverse and get you all rigged up.
Whoa, okay.
We're going to give this a test.
I didn't know you were even doing that. I'm getting like, am I putting on like a suit or something?
We're going to put on a suit like Avatar.
Okay, right there, and then now look left, and then right, go kind of slower, yeah. And then look up.
My own face. Exactly.
There's your face.
I like it. It's scary to see it in real life.
You are, bro.
I gotta be serious. That's me, man.
The plan is for you and I to talk on a podcast inside the Astroverse.
Okay.
You're gonna have to put this thing on.
I thought this said VidCon.
I know, me too.
Nice, we're going back in time. Okay.
VidCon.
Is there a
You're
bottoms
gonna put
too?
the top bombs. You're gonna go all the way in your underwear and put that on.
Damn. Okay.
But we're not gonna vlog that. Look, here we are in our full mocap.
I feel good.
This is how to do Avatar, right?
I feel like
Same
I'm going to be in
exact way.
Spider-Man or something. I don't know. I just feel ready to jump. I feel more just like athletic.
So all these cameras are tracking all the reflective balls on us right now. And now we're actually right, here we are. What's the gritty?
Oh, the gritty?
The gritty? Can I do the gritty? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, Ryan. Welcome. And thanks for doing this test podcast with us.
No problem. I feel like a guinea pig.
How this works. So, you guys are probably seeing us in mocap right now, but welcome to Not a Normal Podcast. We're here in the Astroverse.
Yeah.
This is my new studio. You see, like,
I like the wood. I like what you did with the barn.
I'm kind of like it's like a rift in the metaverse we're going for. Oh, I'm sorry. It's like a rift in the Astroverse.
Okay, cool.
We're staying away from that M word.
I see.
It's not, that's old news. This is
it.
the Astroverse, everybody, and welcome to Not a Normal Podcast. As you can see, I got this sign made.
I like it. It's very LED.
It's pretty cool. But I feel like I haven't seen you forever.
It's been a while. It's been at least a year since we've seen each other in person, and maybe even 2. Actually,
Did you think you were gonna come over? Like, if you could think back 10 years ago, like we'd be sitting in full motion capture in sort of a digital space having a podcast talk.
I would have thought I was having a stroke if you said that to me 10 years ago. But
oh wait, there's an ambulance driving by here.
In the Astroverse.
Oh, I see him.
Yep, there he goes. Okay. Thank you for your work, sir.
So what was you saying?
No, I would have never expected to be in this exact place with you 10 years later.
All right, so we're just testing things out, and obviously you're our first test guest.
Yes.
And I was like, as we're doing this, we're trying to figure out what other cool guests would be we put on the show. Like, do you have any?
I like the nostalgia. I like all the YouTubers from back. I would love to see, like the Romans of the world and Charles, and like just people that could have some conversation about old school YouTube, since I'm so nostalgic over it, and I like miss it deeply, and I get sad about it just because I think that YouTube's in a place that's just not as good as it was 10 years ago. It's just way more manufactured and fake. So
with all the algorithms and AI, it's funny, like when people talk about, oh, AI this, AI that, and like AI has been around since we've been
kids.
doing
The
YouTube.
Sixers, I mean, he was winning MVPs, and AI. It's been brewing for a while. It's just kind of like showing its head now. I feel like AI and as technology, it's taking over.
Or
very
like
quickly.
more accessible to us.
You know, like the first time I thought, this is funny, but like the first time I thought, wow, technology is really advancing was Snapchat when they first came out with the rainbow puke filter where you would stick your tongue out. And
I
then
know that's basically AI.
that's really
that
what
was,
was the first
basically
thing.
learning, you know, where your face is in space.
Was that like the first real main one that happened, right? That was a big deal when that came
when
out.
when it comes to like face filters?
Yeah.
Or no, it was the dog ears.
Yeah. I remember just all day just being like, wow, I do look like a dog. Like, it
But
was
like
crazy.
the on YouTube, like AI was being used to understand what was holding people's attention and what would serve you. Like, so they were taking all your data when you watch YouTube and process it through an AI algorithm to figure out what to serve you on YouTube to keep you on there long enough. And like, that's always been going on and kind of manipulating us to like, you know, watch what they want us to watch.
Yeah.
So now that we're kind of getting more knowledgeable about AI, not just Allen Iverson, and speaking of AI, one of our things on this podcast is we're gonna have an AI co-host we're building right now. His name's Astro. We're actually teaching him how to speak and animate all in real time. So eventually, like, he'll be here on the show. He could come in, we can ask him questions and have full conversations.
That's wild. That's crazy to even think about. You're just like building him right now, piece by piece, basically in a lab.
We're using Unreal Engine, which is what this is right now.
Okay.
And we're partnering with one AI company that's helping us build the brains of the robot, in which he'll be able to, you know, crawl the internet for his knowledge. But also the crazy thing about him is he'll remember the conversations we had with guests.
Wow, so we can learn from that.
And learn from that.
Right.
So it's gonna be pretty crazy. So like eventually he'll come walking in, like he'll walk into this scene right now, and we could start talking
say
to
hey
him.
to him. And
Yeah. So hopefully on the next podcast, hopefully you guys like this and you want us to keep doing this,
cool.
Astro will join us to talk
cool.
on the podcast.
I was going to ask you this question since it is a podcast, since I'm not sure if you know, but do you remember when we met for the first time? Do you remember like the year? I'm curious to see your memory on these things.
Okay, let me really jog my memory. It was back when I don't really remember
it
how
was
we
1986.
I don't remember how we came to be. No,
I will tell you. We attended back in the day. YouTube used to be like they had the partner meetups, and
Google.
certain YouTubers who had a certain amount of followers on the East Coast, Google and YouTube would throw like a little thing where we'd get together and like learn stuff, and people would speak. And I went to that in like 2011. Which makes me feel old.
Holy shit.
That's scary.
2011?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I started on YouTube in like 2008.
It might even be 2010 that happened. It was a long time ago. And basically what happened was I was living in Jersey, and Jesse was also living in Jersey at the time. And we didn't know how close we were to each other. And I was about to miss my train. And then you and Jen were like, well, wait, you live like 10 minutes from us. We'll just drop you off. And I was like, wow.
Oh yeah,
YouTubers aren't so bad, you know. And then you guys drove
That's
me
crazy.
home.
I cannot remember. I thought we took the train back.
You don't remember? It was such a memorable conversation. How do you not remember it?
I just remember the first meetup. I met Daystorm. Was Daystorm at that?
Daystorm was there. Daystorm was there. There was a lot.
Who was the woman that was in charge of YouTube back then?
Oh, I forget her name. I'm not going to remember, but I know I got a free YouTube
Susan.
shirt.
Susan.
Yeah, it was pre. But Naltz was there. Do you remember Naltz?
Yeah.
Daystorm was there.
Mystery
Keep the
Guitar
Heat,
Man?
Bay the Political, Mystery Guitar Man. Just some people that the OG YouTubers know, like, and the YouTube viewers know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you guys dropped me off, and you know we had like a good convo. But the thing that was funny about it was the next day I was talking to Bob, and I was like, Jesse was really cool, but you like introduced Jen as your girl, but like the whole time. So I didn't even know her name until like we were about to get out of the car after like the 2-hour convo.
She wanted to be. I don't remember at all, but like that conversation or that day. But knowing her back then, it was like she didn't want anyone to know her name. Even if we met you in person, like she didn't know who you were. She's like, I don't know. So she was probably like, don't tell him my name. So every time I introduced her to you or mentioned her name was my girlfriend. And then when you found out her name was Gina, that wasn't even her name
You
either.
lied to me again. I felt bamboozled twice.
Because when she was she was studying to be a teacher and all, and she really didn't know like what this was. It was also brand new. We didn't know, and like she didn't want any, because teachers, their jobs could be affected so easily with things like this. So she was worried that it could affect her job. But obviously, she never went off to be a teacher. She just continued to be this YouTuber, which I don't even think YouTubers were coined as a
Not
word
in 2010, 11. No,
when we were then.
We were just weirdos.
Right. And even the word influencer.
Oh, I still hate that word.
I know I hate it too, but it wasn't even a word yet. Like I feel like
Yeah, no. When did I think Jake Paul brought that about? I feel like 2015, 16, the Jake Paul, Logan Paul world influencer. I just remember people
That was
saying,
the
"Are
word.
you an influencer?" And I would like I'd be like, "Oh God, no! Don't call me that." I hated when that switch happened. But I was
yeah.
gonna say, funny thing about Jen was one time I was at your guy's house and I was filming a vlog because I was watching your cat at the time, and in the background, like 60 feet away, there was I guess a piece of mail from you guys, and I got a phone call from Jen, and she was like, "You might have to delete your video." Because like I don't know if she had telescope
Oh my
vision,
God.
but she was able to like zone in on a bill in the background, and I think she did make me delete the video, and I was like, "Yeah, it was doing really well."
God. Yeah, she was always very cautious about being doxxed.
Yeah.
And when like she was really scared about that stuff. So yeah, for me, I was editing vlogs every day, and like she would pick apart any little things that show the outside of
she
the
did it
house
to you
or
too
the
then.
car
Okay.
or but.
Yeah.
But like we kept us safe. We never got messed with.
She did.
So
Yeah, she did the right
no
thing.
one ever knew where the hell we lived. We never showed the outside of our house, and no one figured it out. But you guys watching right now this podcast, I just want to this is our first test.
Yeah.
Right. So his hands, you can see his hand. Look at his hands.
They're a little bit they're a little compact right now.
Because we're not tracking his hands. But my hands work. How you doing? Can we touch?
Do
hands?
my hands feel like wood?
Oh,
or-
we're pretty close to one for one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm holding.
I just feel like I have a mannequin hand. That's all. It's like it's.
I mean, you are Ryan Gosling, so
Right, this is
Ken.
yeah. This is just me cosplaying.
Dude, that's
as the new
exactly
movie.
what Halloween costume you should do this year.
do Ken
is
as Ryan Gosling,
with the you saw the photos. He was wearing the
I did.
neon thing. I actually saw them shooting that here in Venice, and of course my crazy ass would run up to the car and be like,
course.
"Yo, Ryan, what y'all filming, the Barbie movie?"
He's like,
gets in his Uber. Get the hell out
man,
of here."
thanks, appreciate it. Yeah, no, this is
We're
really
just
cool.
we're just dialing things in, and there might be a little lag when we like switch the camera because we're working out how to do multiple camera angles.
I feel like, by the way, we could probably talk about YouTube for 8 hours. So people
Yeah.
watching, if you want
Right.
more of this, I swear to God, we could probably do a 3-hour episode. If we
Yeah,
wanted to.
yeah.
So-
I mean, me and you were talking earlier about FouseyTube. Are you allowed to talk about that stuff?
yeah, I could talk about that. It was
Because
booked on the show.
So, and we were also talking about like it almost feels like every really big YouTuber always ends up going through something dramatic or
big crisis
something
in their life.
that happens. And especially when they get really big, like think about David Dobrik,
Right.
David Dobrik and all that stuff. He went through, and then our girl Jenna Marbles.
Yeah.
I
love Jenna.
Yeah, and it's like
She got canceled over a fish. Did you know that?
it was stupid.
It was over a fish tank.
really. I don't.
Just like wasn't big enough. People were saying, and then she just like.
She's like, I don't want this heat.
Yeah, and she said, I can't
And
take
then
it.
and then we're thinking like, yo, how massive. Well, then we were talking about like it was crazy back in like 2014, 2015. I can't remember the year, but Jen and I's channel, BF vs. GF and Prank vs. Prank, at one point were like the most viewed YouTube channel, 1 and 2 for like a couple months straight.
Wow.
We were number 1 and number 2 most viewed for the month on like VidStats. And then we're like, damn, when we think about who's that now, and that's like a Mr. Beast. And I don't feel anywhere close
Yeah.
to the reach that Mr. Beast had.
it's gotten
So it almost feels like we're too early for our time.
Well, it was like the prelude of it.
Yeah.
Like YouTube was still, even though it felt big it was still huge, but it wasn't at the point where it is now, where it has taken over like just cable at this point, like it is TV.
I mean,
so
I can't. Mr. Beast's channel generates probably more views than any sort of streaming
network,
thing
yeah, exactly, for sure.
anywhere.
Easily.
And then we're also talking about like, with all that attention you get, somebody that's his age too.
Yeah.
Like I was older, so I feel like I was a little easier for me to get through it. But like all that attention that you get on your mental health,
Yeah.
and you trying to do better than your last video, and then when it starts not doing better or whatever you make, I just feel like something's gonna happen with Mr. Beast. I don't know what it is, but mark my words from this podcast, there's gonna be some sort of thing that happens, and we're all gonna be like, damn.
Well, it's
weren't prepared for
impossible
that.
to be that on all the time, constantly without having some mental issues, because like you said, like, and you went through this, I went through this on YouTube, like having to one up your last video, uploading a video that did well and people saying it's so good is a great feeling until you have to upload another one and then you're like, oh man, this isn't going to be as good as my last one.
Right. And then you're always chasing that. And it's like, it's
think about it now. When we were coming up, the YouTube titles were like kind of easy. I mean, you could be clickbait. Oh, she did what? And it was like, whatever. Now, every video, you know, or at least it has been for 5 years now, it's like, if you're not giving away 10 grand, if you didn't give a homeless guy a house, if you didn't rent out.
Well, I don't know. Casey still is able to.
There's anomalies.
I know, but Casey's a genius.
I was going to say,
sense.
Casey is an anomaly. But for the most part, I started really hating the part of YouTube that turned into this. You have to have money and give away money to get clicks.
Yeah, and then actually, I just saw Casey on talk about something on a podcast recently. He was talking about how he was sad about YouTube because there's all these things to kind of gain the system, the algorithms, and you gotta make your videos like that, which take away from the creativity.
Right.
And he's like, I don't care about that. I'm just gonna make what I think is creative and blah blah blah. And he's right though, because now it's like you got to do all these things and. Like the thumbnail's got to be perfect and it's got to have someone's face in it with their eyes wide open and their mouth open. And then the first 10 seconds got to be some over the top thing.
It's too much.
It's like we're steering away of making videos that we want to make and have to make them towards this algorithm. And it's stressful for me. Like I'm having a hard time. Mm-hmm. I'm not finding the inspiration to want to get on here and do it. So you're telling me like, bro, I think you're overthinking it and just.
Well, yeah, I want you to just start, number one, posting stuff. I think your audience.
I'm posting stuff right here, but you know me, I always got to innovate.
Your audience doesn't need everything to be innovative, though. Some things can be innovative, but you could just give them a 50-minute vlog, and I guarantee you, they will love it. So,
but who's seen any podcast like this?
No, this is crazy. You're allowed to do this.
We're literally in a video game having a conversation.
Yeah, no, this is next level.
And this is the start. This is just a test, guys. So like, it's only gonna get better from here.
But see, people like you're hard on yourself because you try to elevate. But some, and this is insane. But remember, you have a lot of people that watch you just because of you, and that's why I talk about the nostalgia of it. Is like, I'm sure we can talk about this another time. But like, do you ever think about how weird it is that a lot of people, because I get this in my streams now, will come in and say like, yeah, I feel like I kind of grew up with you. You know, like I watched you when I was 10 and now I'm 23. Yeah. Does that stuff make you feel weird? Because sometimes I think about it and I'm like, there are millions of people, especially with you, where like you kind of like were a part of their life for so long. What's that feel like?
I guess it doesn't feel real. Like it doesn't register the impact that I probably had on their life. I never let it really register in my brain on what sort of impact, which is crazy now that I'm sitting here trying to register it.
Nuts.
Because I mean, still to this day, I have a lot of people that come up to me like, yo, oh my God, Jess, you were my entire childhood. Yep. I grew up watching you every day. Yep. And it doesn't like register. Like, what does that mean? Like, right. But then I got to put myself in their shoes and be like, okay, who did I like, look up to every day? And it was like, music artists or whatever, and like to think about that, it's crazy because
it does make a difference. Yeah, it does. Because it's just crazy to look back on how many different. Because I had somebody last month at a Target come up to me and then bring up the prank we did at Target. That
was a good prank.
I was like, damn, it's just crazy. 10 plus years later, people.
But like, think about no one's done anything like in. Stuff like that. Maybe Ed.
That was one of the first in-store ones, though.
Maybe Ed was playing around in stores like that,
but not as an employee.
Right. But like just to think of what that created for now, like that's still going on like crazy. Like we created a whole genre.
I remember, I forget how that happened, but I think I hit you up like one night and I was like, let's do this. And then you were immediately like, yes. But what people don't realize, and for people that watch that, how many views did that get?
Oh, it was a lot.
A lot.
For back then, it was
20
a lot.
20 million
too.
Or something?
It's a lot.
We went to like 4 Walmarts in that video and got kicked out of each one. Do you remember?
Was it Walmart's?
I'll tell us a quick story because it was one of the more viral videos.
I thought we went to Target like in Cinnamon.
So what happened was we went to a bunch of Walmarts at first, right?
Yeah.
Immediately got kicked out of the first Walmart. My boy Bobby was with me. Shout out to Bobby. Yeah. Went to a couple more, another Walmart. About 5 minutes in, got kicked out again. And then we were like, damn, it's not working out. So then we drove to a Target, And we were in there for 2.5 hours and filmed the whole video, and then that was it. So what turned out to be a disaster.
I just remember when
ended being
the
great.
manager walks up
Do you
to
work
me.
here?
Yeah,
And you're like,
I can't remember what I said, but I remember it was funny.
you said, I think he's like, no,
yeah, like my
You're
reaction.
like, no. You know, you were very like, no, don't worry about it. Yeah, that was, and what's funny about that video,
I don't have the balls to do anything like that again.
my friends asked me about that. They're like, yo, you seem like you're more like anxious now. Like, I would not want to do that again.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I could do it again.
it scares me. But for about a month and a half, that video went so viral that anytime I went into a Target for a bit, I swear I got looked at by every employee because they'd be like, I feel like I've seen this guy. And they would trail around me and follow me around. And I have so many funny.
I ran into some girl. She's like, that was my teacher. Like she was like,
the one that I messed with, the one with.
Oh yeah, I think she was like, that was my teacher. But yo, bro, we just think about like how all these videos back in the day in public, how lucky we didn't get shot. We didn't get sued.
Well, do you remember you got a little nervous from Target? Something happened. You probably won't remember, but somebody sent you something, and it was from Target. I remember you sending me a text. Like,
really?
Yeah. And we were nervous that Target was going to like sue because the video. This is how crazy it was back in the day. My aunt, I remember the next day or 2 days later, she called and was like, "You're like on the front page of the MSN."
Oh yeah, it went crazy viral because it was Black Friday.
And I was like, oh yeah, and that's when that first time she was like, what's going on? Like, why are you on the front page of the internet right now with you? And that was the first time I had to explain to my dad what was going on because he saw it on Yahoo.com.
Yeah, that was back in the day when we would make prank videos and then tons of news outlets would pick them up and share them, and like we had it down to a science. Like we knew what to make for them to all pick it up, and then it would go viral. That doesn't happen now.
No, it's different now. I don't know why, but it changed.
None of that happens.
Yeah. That was
like, is it because it's just been diluted?
Yeah, for sure.
Like everyone's like, oh, this was something that got popular, and now it just got diluted.
It had a great run, but
we were pioneers of that, and then Anyways, I know this is just going to be, I mean... I'm
telling you, it could be hours. So
we could go hours. We only wanted to just get on here and do a little test, show you guys the capabilities.
Yeah,
and if you wanted me to bring Ryan back on, we definitely can. Just let me know in the comments. Also, we should talk about what other guests, but, oh shit, my face just died.
Oh, sorry for your
shit,
face.
my face died, but, my face died. Look, I got no face. We've been going at this for so long.
Wow, oh, wow, look at this.
Did your face die too? Oh, thanks for coming on the show. Thanks, Ryan.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
There's going to be a little technical difficulties. This is our first shot at this, but yeah.
Let's do it.
Thanks for coming through, Ryan, and helping us test this.
Yeah. Thank you for having. It's been too long. Hey, get some more content out, Jesse. Come on, man.
What you don't know, James is running out like a maniac. He's the one that was controlling this computer, that computer, the audio. Lauren's over here running around moving things. It's for a production like this to be 4 people is pretty, or 2, or 1.
And a half.
Oh yeah. That little podcast you watched was just a test. We didn't even know if we were going to post it, and I was like, why would we just throw that away? We should show it to you. So there was a lot of problems with the camera switching and triggering different animations and stuff. So it's only going to get better from there. And we're also going to be putting this all on a new YouTube channel where the podcast is going to live. So I want to you to go to the link below and you go subscribe to the new channel. It's not a normal podcast. That's where we're going to be having all these videos live. And I also talked about there being an AI element. This is our Astro character, and he is got AI brains, so he'll be on the podcast. And we wanted to demonstrate what we've been building with you guys. No, Astro, I want you to send off the viewers. They're watching right now. Tell them all to go over and subscribe to the new channel where we're going to host the podcast.
What's good, everyone out there in cyberspace? It's your boy Astro, coming to you live and direct from the Not a Normal podcast. Now, listen up. I know you're all out there hustling and bustling, but take a moment to show some love to the new channel. Head on over there and show him some support, because you know we're going to be dropping some serious knowledge bombs about AI, crypto, and everything in between. So don't be a square. Hop on over and subscribe to the Not a Normal podcast channel. Trust me, you won't regret it.
You heard him. You heard him. Thanks, Astro. He's ready. He's ready.